gosh, and he just makes it
Just
in
make-
at the
just
buzzer.
makes
man.
We had faith in you, man. You know, I told them to wait. I told them to wait.
Listen,
we all told him to
guys,
wait. He just said, "Let's go,
guys.
let's go."
I said to HH, send me the link when you schedule the.
Nah, too easy. Way too easy.
And 2 minutes before, I can't even, just make sure you look and see my face.
No. Devil, I never knew that you live in a mansion with a compound. Where are the horses? Where is the stable? Why didn't I know that you had a flipping compound at the back of your house? I didn't know you were this rich. Please explain.
I'm in a park, bro. I'm in a park.
Yeah, park.
I'm in a
sure,
park.
Park.
Yeah,
Sure.
like I'm literally. I've left the family barbecue to come do this show. I'm going back to the barbecue.
His park.
Hold on. Look, I don't know if you can see them over there in the distance.
Hey,
Family, they're having a barbecue.
This is an amazing green
There you
screen.
go.
An amazing green screen.
But in typical black fashion, the barbecue ain't even started yet. It's supposed to be at
wow.
4 o'clock. 4 o'clock we've been here from. Barbecue ain't even started yet. Anyway,
Javon, your camera's on like 144p pixel.
Yeah, man. It's like you're moving at like one heartbeat in millennium.
I don't understand. It looks fine here.
Wait, but aren't you supposed to be the engineer? Like, isn't this like your job?
Well,
Like,
I am the engineer, but I actually don't know what you guys are seeing.
So
It looks
if you
fine
can't
on
make
my
yourself look
section.
proper, how good of an engineer are you really?
If you go on the YouTube stream, you see how you look.
Okay, so look, guys. We obviously we're going to take this very slowly because I don't think anyone's going to be watching that game at 8:15. So we're going to take our time. We're going to take our sweet. Let me land, man. Let me land. We're going to take our sweet time.
I'll watch it on the stream, and everyone can see my reactions as the goals fly in. Pogba, Bruno, Martial, Rashford.
oh boy, if Southampton win that game.
I hope that comes back to haunt you. So, guys, look, man. I think that obviously before we talk about the weekends games, maybe some chance of reaction. Of course, the North London derby reaction, because a lot of people were saying that they need you on the stream, especially your boy Erhan Exu, your boy J Sports. They need this. They need this stream. They've been waiting for this stream specifically. So Devo, I'm happy that you are here. But before we do that, let me just ask you guys this, and anybody can jump in. Was anybody surprised by the decision that took place this morning? And raise your hands up and high. Anybody who was surprised? So, Devil, react to Man City's ban being overturned when some people thought that at the very least, rather than the 2-year ban, they'll get the 1-year ban. So, react to the decision. Your thoughts prior when it was handed out. Maybe remind people of your thoughts prior and then your reaction afterwards.
To be fair, I thought they would get at least a 1-year suspended sentence, something like that, where it could still it could be still in play. I didn't think they'll get the 2 years. I knew for certain they weren't going to get the 2 years. I didn't even think they'll get the 1 year, just straight 1 year ban. I thought maybe it would be a thing of, well, if you do something again, then we're going to hit you with the 1 year. But for it to be completely overturned, I was like, right, these people are criminal. These people are actually criminal. Like, they are some gangsters. And the 10 million fine is like, yeah, we need some money. Times have been hard. You know what I mean? Times have been hard here at UEFA. We need some money. We know, say you got it. 10 million fine. That's all it is at the end of the day. It's a thing of, how can you help us while we help you? And that's exactly what happened with UEFA and Man City. And now apparently FFP has been scrapped completely this summer, which means Man City can go ahead and continue doing their madness. It's ridiculous. And the worst thing about this, being an Arsenal fan, is that Wenger played by these rules thinking this was the be on end all, was FFP. Yes, we're finally going to get our turn because we've been playing by the rules. And it was for nothing, because all we had to do is do what Man City, well, not that we could do what Man City were doing, but just spend the money as you like, do whatever you want. And then when it goes to court, just say, you know what? Nah, we're good. We'll just give you a little bit of money and we'll carry on doing what we're doing. That's exactly what's happened. It's a sham. Like, UEFA cannot be taken seriously. It dents their reputation even more. If they had a reputation left, it's now gone. Who's going to take them seriously? Anytime anything goes to UEFA, you're just going to say, yeah, but look what you did with City. What can you actually do to me? It's a terrible precedent to be set.
Nix.
I think, yeah, Devil's been a bit harsh on UEFA. I'll tell you why. UEFA handed out the ban, and a 30 million euro fine. It's CAF, the independent body separate from UEFA, that actually overturned it. So if it was up to UEFA, I think they would want to ban City. Well, they did ban City. They banned City for 2 years.
Oh no. But real quick, just a point that Nick said is that because the La Liga president Javier Tebas actually said, which is where Nick's going to that. The issue is CAS, the people who come in to actually try to determine whether it's a ban or not. That CAS should be removed from the equation. It should be another body that actually investigates this. So
wait, why another body?
Because they didn't get what they wanted.
Saying that CAS is the issue. That's basically CAS were the people who pretty much ruled that, overturn the ban. That there should be someone else, not CAS, that are involved in these kinds of rulings, because CAS obviously are not very reliable.
Oh yeah, so CAS overruled it. There's a higher court, the Swiss Arbitration for Sport. I think they go above CAS if UEFA wanted to take it further, but it's very unlikely. I think that they will do that. I'm not surprised. I did feel, UEFA would convince them to at least give them, as Devil said, like a suspended sentence. But to be completely exonerated, and remember that the 10 million fine is only a fine because Man City refused to cooperate, and they didn't submit like evidence to UEFA. They didn't, help them out with an investigation. That's why they're being fined, because they failed to cooperate, not because they were guilty of anything. Now, I'm not saying they were not guilty, but they've been cleared of everything, and that stinks, because I don't have to be involved in Man City's account to know that everything ain't above board. This ain't the first time Man City got gone under the or fell foul of the rules. Remember, they were fined about 50 million. I think them and PSG a few years ago. They had a ban, a squad ban, where they had to reduce their squad by a certain amount of numbers because of issues in terms of FFP. So this is just the third in the long line of it. So for me, I'm like, I know they're guilty of something, but what can you do? If CAS are going to overrule all these decisions, there's not much UEFA can do. Whether FFP is dead or not, again, that really goes decided by CAS and the Swiss arbitration, because every ruling that happens from here on in, that club might feel, well, let me take it to CAS and get overturned. As you said, the precedent has been set now, and it isn't very good.
Javan.
I was really, really, really hoping that they'll come through and ban them. But
are you surprised though, or you're like, you knew this was gonna happen?
I'm torn. I'm not surprised, because they always they just get away with it. All they get is fines. People, they get less teams, less. Oh my gosh, I can't get my words out. The kids, the kids in the background. You're
Deva. I'm gonna have to mute you when you're not talking, because I think we can hear kids all the way through. It's all right.
Yeah, sorry, I was saying. They've gotten away with so many things. I'm actually surprised that they didn't get away with. I'm not surprised actually, because I think this whole FFP thing is a load of bullshit anyway, because I think it's bullshit.
Very colorful language. Very colorful language. I'm shocked.
Sorry.
I'm shocked.
I say as it's. I'm sorry, but it's the truth, because it's pointless. Like, if a team wants to spend, let them spend. Just let them spend. If you want to stop them from, leaving the club and leaving it in debt because they can't pay or whatever, I understand that's what you want to do. But if that's the case, if a owner comes in and they have a lot of money and they want to spend it, tie that debt to the owner. So even if he sells up, he's still tied to this until he's gotten it down to a reasonable level, or the club is balanced in a way where they can afford if he was not injecting the cash. That's what they should do. Stop limiting people, because all they're going to do is find ways around. Neymar got bought as an ambassador. Like, they're just going to find ways around it. it's ridiculous. So it just takes the fun out of it. If the club wants to spend, let them spend. I'm telling you from now, if we never had this FFP, there'll be so much business going on, probably even more crazy money flying around. But I think it's bullshit anyway. Man City have been circumventing it. PSG's been circumventing it. Like, what's the point? Just throw it out. It's done. It's done. Just it's a waste of time. I've always hated it. Anyway.
I agree.
Just quickly from your boy Erhan Exu, who says, Uncle Mu quadruple incoming. Erhan, relax. We're gonna get there. Devil will have his say. Nix.
Uncle Mo was lucky to get 4 wins in a row, let alone 4 trophies in a season. I agree with Javern. FFP is a joke. FFP was brought in under the guise of, helping control finances, so you don't get situations like we did of Berry recently or things like that. But in reality, all it's doing is limiting or preventing smaller clubs in challenging and competing with bigger clubs. That's all it's doing. So I think, as Javon said, if you tie the debt to the owner, you're not going to get, you can't get unscrupulous businessmen coming in posing that they're invested in football clubs and then leaving the football clubs in the lurch in the end. You tie that debt to the owner and you allow football clubs or owners who want to do a job properly to invest, to build their club up, because that's the only way we're going to get competition. And competition is what football and sport is all about. If you don't have competition, it's boring. So I'm not a big fan of FFP in general. However, if you're going to implement it properly or don't at all. So I'm saying it's a joke that Man City's been let off because you're trying to implement a rule. But in reality, I'm saying get rid of the rule. Get rid of the rule. It's like lots of stuff with VAR and handball. The handball rule is terrible. They need to get rid of the rule. But if it hits someone's hand and goes in the net, you need to give it a handball because that is a rule that everyone's playing by. Get rid of the rule. Get rid of FFP.
It's ridiculous because imagine you own your own business. Sorry, imagine you own your own business and someone is telling you can't spend this money. I'm getting loans. I'm getting this person investing in me. I can't spend it. Why? It doesn't matter where it's come from.
You see, that was the point that I was making earlier on. And I think when we I don't know whether it was us to discuss it or someone else, but I said that, which is where Javen is going to, is that who cares how I get my money? That's my own thing. That's my own business. And it's not illegal. It's not like I am killing someone. I have a rich friend or someone that I know. But that's how I get my money, which is legal. If it was criminal, then I'm not going to court for it. But since that's how I get money, why should I be reprimanded for it? Devil, anything you want to add to this?
Yeah, see, it's funny because this FFP thing came in, and it's saying about people having their own money, they should be able to spend it. But then the other side of that coin is what's happening to Wigan. I don't know if any of you have followed what's happened with Wigan, where they was taken over by this businessman, Hong Kong businessman, who tied a lot of the money onto a certain company. That company was a gambling company. Allegedly, he told his good friend to take a bet out that Wigan would be relegated.
Wow.
Wigan are floating around the relegation zone. He put the company into administration, sold it off, put it into administration. Obviously, when you go into administration, you get a 12-point penalty deduction. So that's what's happened to Wigan. So that will put them firmly into, guess what? The relegation zone. And therefore, who's going to make money out of that? The person who put a massive bet on Wigan to get relegated. So that's being investigated as we speak. So that's the other side of FFP, where they have to investigate people who are buying football clubs because not everyone is who they say.
Yeah, look at the Barry.
People are conmen. Yeah,
didn't that happen to AC Milan as well?
Yeah, people say, I've got all this money, blah, blah, blah. Let me buy your football club. Buy it. And they got nothing. Suddenly. And the only aim is to sell it on to make a little bit of cash because they can't afford to do it. And then the football club is secondary to someone trying to make personal gain. So it has to be some sort of ruling. But if you're going to do it properly. Yeah, do you know what I mean? Don't just say, okay, we've got this in place so that certain clubs will benefit from it.
Then that's why you tie it.
No.
That's why you tie it to them.
Yeah.
No, because what I've always said is that, which is where you guys are just like, don't insult me. And this is what FFP are doing. Is don't insult my intelligence. Like, why even begin to take us through all this crap about? because I said, FFP, what have you actually done?
Mm.
You've not actually really done anything. So basically, FFP, I liken it almost to the kick it out guys, or rather the anti-racism campaign dudes, where you're all back. You're all talk, but really you're not doing any action because you're like, let's just appear to be a police force so things are going through. But really, we're like, nah, these guys are too rich. And we need these guys in here because there's so much stuff that happens behind the scenes. There's so many people that benefit behind the scenes that you just need to put up a front. But in reality, like as I said again, you're knowing who Man City's owners are, how you know that they are friends with other people, and how much money you know that they are bringing in, because there's a whole other world that we regular people we don't know about. And there's a whole other world of backhand shakes and so on that we don't know about. So I
Well,
mean,
wasn't,
that's fascinating to do. But
wasn't Man United one of the first? Wasn't Man United one of the first teams to get around FFP by selling the naming rights to their training ground?
I don't know, but I wouldn't say that's getting around it per se, because Man United as a brand, I think, and especially at the time, most people want to have associate themselves with it. The issue is when you got someone like City who value the Etihad branding of their stadium at like or the kit 100 million, whereas Man United, who were the biggest club in England, well, the biggest club in England and top three in the world, their value is at 60 million. Like, well, how? Because you won one Premier League title, yours is 40 million more. That's where the whole investigation first started back in 2012 about basically them overstating sponsorship, because obviously that sponsorship money is coming from a company that's owned by the sheikhs. But yeah, clubs will just find different ways, legitimate or otherwise, of boosting their revenue to meet the FFP regulation. It's a joke. It's just a joke. I think that's, for me, we'll agree.
Moving on, let's just deal with some of these super chats. So from your boy Gatler says, HH, tell your side chicks and kids to be quiet. Those are neither my side chicks or my kids. Okay, so I believe those are just the lovely fruits of devil that are there. So that has nothing to do with it. I have no side chicks. I only believe in one woman, one marriage, one life. Thank you. From Just Best says, HH, I will send you a vid if United win. I can't wait. Just best in, relax and chill.
Yeah,
if United win, I don't want anything from you.
Let's just
if United win, I don't want anything from you, best in. Nothing, absolutely nothing from you. Southampton, rise.
You are disgrace.
Shush. Danny Ings, we salute you, man. Danny Ings, you're my black brother.
Oh, you're an English player.
No. Danny Ings was my brother. I respect him. World class. Now, let's look at the North London derby then, before we obviously, I think it's good to round up with the Champions League as the final thing. So let's look at the North London derby. And I want to come straight to Devil. And Devil, stop hiding from that camera right there. Devil, show your face. Devil, show your face. You're not hiding from anywhere, man, bro. So let me just kick this up, because I'm going to go. Actually, you know what? I'm going to let Devil go last. So let everyone go first. So here's my assessment of the whole thing. I do feel that it was a close game in the first half. Second half, I thought Arsenal were actually playing better. And this is something that I need you guys to maybe talk about. Are the water breaks maybe a hindrance? Because Arsenal, before that water break, were doing really good and they were putting Tottenham under pressure. The water break happens. Arsenal lose the momentum, and Tottenham can sort of find another get to go into, and then they get that goal through Alderweireld. Whereas if that water break didn't happen, I just feel like if Arsenal, probably with that momentum, they would have overwhelmed them. So I still feel that I don't know who's going to finish above one another, Arsenal or Tottenham, And my thing about it is, I'll be real with you. I'm an Uncle Mo fan, I'm a Mourinho fan. And you can't call this an Uncle Mo masterclass. I think what I saw was Son showing that he still is Tottenham's best player and most dangerous player. I don't think Harry Kane is really that's good. But more so, Arsenal, one of the most frustrating things as a striker is it doesn't matter how many goals we score. Those clowns at the back will always concede more. Like, I cracked a joke, but that's for Tottenham's second goal. David Luiz said, I've got oxygen.
Hey, that's what
Everyone else, you have your man. I am marking oxygen. And David Luiz did a superb superb job marking Oxygen. Oxygen was not getting a sniff. Not getting a sniff. But the issue is that now, again, maybe you guys got me wrong. I don't think Oxygen knows how to play for ball. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think so. David, obrigado. That's only language you know in Portuguese. David, I don't think Oxygen knows how to play football. But still, he did an amazing job at marking Oxygen. But that did lead to Alderweireld scoring his goal. So Arsenal's defense has literally been the bane of their existence. And many would argue, if not for Arsenal's defense, how good could they have done? So those are my points. I don't think Harry Kane is that good. Tottenham should sell Harry Kane. Son is still Tottenham's best player. The Tottenham team don't look great. Nkunku won't win a trophy. Arsenal's defense is trash. And yes, Devil, I've got to agree with you. Xhaka, for me, was probably the best player on that pitch. So, Nick's thoughts on the North London derby?
I'm not even going to get into the Harry Kane debate because you haven't got a clue. Secondly, I think personally, Ceballos was probably the best player on the pitch, but whatever. I don't really care that deep to argue that point. Arsenal's defense is the problem. And Arsenal's defense was doing all right in the last few games when they moved to a back three because they realized Luiz needs two defenders beside him. But Luiz needs two defenders beside him who can actually defend. Like, it's not just, you can't just have three bums and think, now Luiz is gonna run things. No, you need three proper defenders, and between them, they barely make one defender. They all have a mistake. I think they all made a mistake, at least one each in the game. From the first minute, Luiz is making a mistake. Kolasinac, what a suicide pass that was. I don't even know why he went back. Should have gone forward. Arteta, for me, has to take some of the blame. Not all of it, but some of the blame.
No, very quick. No, you can still. I think I understood why he went back because it's like, no, it's fine to go back.
No.
Look to where you're passing. Of course, you can pass the ball back as a defender, but he didn't look where he was passing. So that wasn't David Luiz's fault. You were like, Kolasinac didn't see where David Luiz was, and he just passed the ball.
I'm not blaming David Luiz. It's not David Luiz's fault. I'm not blaming David Luiz. David Luiz made a mistake in the first minute of the game, I think it was. I'm not blaming David Luiz. That was Kolasinac didn't even need to go back. He had about three people in front of him. But of course, if you go back, then you go back properly. It was a terrible pass. But Arteta, for me, why is Saka not starting? Saka's been Arsenal's probably best player since the lockdown, and you're not starting him in probably your biggest game between now and the end of the season in the Premier League, because you ain't got much to play for in the league, but it's a North London derby. You want to continue carry your momentum as far as you can going into the Wembley FA Cup semi-final, but you're not starting Saka where you're going to start him against Liverpool, and was he going to rip up trees and score a hat-trick? Like, it just didn't make sense to me. Pepe hasn't started in the last couple of games because I think his partner had a baby. Saka is on form. I didn't understand that decision, but I think the issue, Arsenal played into Jose's hands. They weren't forceful enough in their attack. They didn't move the ball quick enough, and they just allowed Spurs easily to just sit back, soak up the pressure, and either hit them on the counter attack or get a set piece. And that's what Jose wanted. If you're gonna beat that Jose team, you're either gonna have to get creators in and around the box. So a Saka would have been perfect actually to get to either feed in Lacazette or feed in Aubameyang, or you sit back and allow Spurs to come onto you, which he's not going to do. So you have to get creators. But it just seemed like they were just in between, in the middle. We don't really want to push forward, but we're not really going to sit back. So it ended just being passing, not really creating much in that second half. I know Aubameyang had a shot that hit the post, but didn't really create much. So all it takes is Spurs to get one chance from a corner. They score it, and then that's Jose's bread and butter. Sit back, defend, and hit you on the counter-attack. And then Spurs created all the chances after they got 2-1 up, because they were just hitting Arsenal on the counter-attack. It was an average display from Arsenal, lacked intent, which for them would be disappointing based on the form that they went into the game. They were expecting much, much more. But in the end, it's just a battle for eighth, so who cares really?
Whoa, that was below the belt. Chauvin.
That was for you.
Wait. Yeah. Before I answer, Miguel Perez, so super chat, says, "Why is leaks?" Wait, actually, no. Let me read that again. Sorry, I don't.
Why? Read it again.
Let me read it again. Why is it because I've got like a stutter. Sorry, like thanks, Dad. My dad, he. Why is Leaks Sports a Premier League merchant?
You know what? It's funny because I was thinking about this whole term about people, you specifically, and then obviously your comrades calling me Premier League merchant.
Comrades?
Yeah, your people in your chat.
No, they are just the people on the street.
You drag them into your hangout and you indoctrinate them, and you don't. And when they go against you, you cut their time short. I've seen it.
No. People hate me. People hate me on here. The abuse I get on here is. I'm a registered card wearing hater.
When they agree with you, you cut them short. Can I finish? Can I land? Yeah. I actually know the Premier League, so 1 down to 20. People that say, "Oh, yeah, you're a Premier League merchant. You don't watch Syria. You don't watch Syria. You watch Barcelona and Real Madrid. You don't watch Bundesliga. You watch Bayern Munich. You don't watch Syria. You watch Cristiano Ronaldo." I know the Premier League more than you lot know the leagues that you think you know. Next, go to the next person.
Ooh, burn. Javan?
I saw the game differently. I saw it as that's what Jose wanted to do. I don't feel like Arsenal were peppering Spurs. I feel as Mourinho set out to go that way, be defensively solid, nick them on the counter, get a goal, and it goes from there. It happens to be that Arsenal's defending is really bad. And then obviously Arsenal had to open up to, go for the goal to get, bring it back to a draw. And then as you saw, Spurs just hitting on the counter every time, and they looked really dangerous on the counter. So for me, I saw it as the game went exactly how Mourinho wanted. I didn't expect Mourinho to go out there and attack them and go bombarding gung-ho. This is exactly what I expected. So for me, I think Tottenham played really well. They didn't play poorly. They played really, really well. They executed the instructions. So that's how I see it.
Okay. Sorry, before I come to Devin, I think I missed. So, Josh Person says that we're in safe hands. Sir Alex is in the VAR booth. Yeah, United are cheating. I understand that. And if they get Champions League football, there'll be a bunch of cheats. So, Devin, how did you see this? Did Arsenal deserve to hold that L? Or do you think that, otherwise?
Firstly, I didn't see the game because I was at work. I've seen the highlights. But before the game, I saw a tweet and I knew I should have saved it. I was thinking, let me screenshot this tweet because it's exactly what's going to happen. And the person said, this game is set up for Jose. It's going to be 2-1 Spurs. And as soon as I saw that, I was like, you know what? He's got a point. That's exactly what's going to happen. And I knew it was going to happen. The fact that we did have the better chances, but everyone talks about our defence. But we've actually conceded less goals than Chelsea this season in the league. Hold on. We've conceded less goals than Chelsea. The problem is we haven't scored nowhere near as many goals as Chelsea. So whereas everyone's saying our defence is the problem is at both ends of the pitch. Apart from Aubameyang and Saka, no one else is getting involved in goals. I think I saw a stat saying our big chances created this season from midfielders. I think Xhaka's got 1, Ozil's got 1, Ceballos has got 1. That's the problem. We're not getting any support for the front three. If the front three aren't doing it themselves, which Aubameyang has done, Pepe has done in bits and pieces, Lacazette hasn't done at all. I know he scored in the last 2 games, but other than that, he's done nothing this season. Saka's the only other person who's been creating goals or creating chances. And I understand why he didn't start, because he's played every game since we've come back pretty much. And we've had a lot of games. So I understand not starting him. I mean, it's a massive fixture. Maybe he thought he's a bit young. There's the spotlight's on him. Maybe let me just take him out of the spotlight for a little bit. Pepe's come back. Pepe's been on form. And he played okay from what I saw. So I understand Saka not playing the game, but we missed something there. I mean, if Pepe's not creating chances, who else in that team is going to do it? Ceballos has been good in the last couple of weeks, but we're really missing some creativity in our midfield. And I think the problem isn't just our defence. Yes, our defence is terrible. Mustafi, albeit he has been good under Arteta, we know what he's about. We know he's seconds away from a mistake every single time he puts on a shirt. Kolasinac is not really a great defender. Hasn't been since he left Bundesliga. where he won Defender of the Year, funnily enough, before he signed for us. Louise is Louise, so we know what we're dealing with, but we need the others at the other end of the pitch to bail them out. And if we haven't got that creative spark, then we're in trouble. Tottenham knew what we're about. Jose done his research. He knew, look, let Arsenal beat themselves. And that's a lot of teams, once they realise, let Arsenal beat themselves, they don't really have to do much. That's what Tottenham did. And they did what Jose wanted them to do. It hurts to lose the North London derby. It hurts because all these stupid Tottenham fans start telling you how North London's white, even though they've done nothing in their lives. They've won, 2 trophies in their whole time that I've been alive. And all of a sudden, North London's white. So I don't understand that. Do you know what I mean? It just doesn't make sense. North London is red. It will remain to be red until you've won 13 FA Cups and God knows how many league titles. When you've done that, come back to me. I
want to add to that.
I might be dead by then. I might be long gone, so you might have to come see me in the grave.
I want to add to that.
Go on, Javon, please do.
North London is white, and I'll tell you why. North London is not red anymore. In terms of history on trophies, yes, but as it stands, for the past few years, Tottenham have been on a decline. Right now, Tottenham, is running North London in terms of the football they play, how it looks. Yes, they haven't won anything, but if we're going to go by history, then yeah, but we're not in the past anymore. We're in the present, and the present shows that Tottenham is a better team than Arsenal. So if we're going by that,
let me ask you a question.
Hold on. So by your logic, Liverpool are the biggest club in England because they've won more than Man United have in the last few years, and they've been dominant. But even though Man United have won the most league trophies, I think actually is it a tie now?
No, one more.
No, Man United, yeah, but that doesn't matter because Liverpool have won it recently.
Well,
they've been better than Man United the last couple of years, so therefore Liverpool are the biggest club in England.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
If that's what you want to say, but I'm just.
But that's what you just said.
Let me give an analogy. Imagine you go out on, and they say, when you go out, you paint the town red. If you go out and you sit down in the club all day, you went out. If I go out with my mates, have a proper booze up, get drunk, enjoy them, you go home. You maybe not. Some of you might not even remember the day after. Did you paint the town red? If you didn't do that, or did you just go out? And that's Spurs. Spurs just went out. They went to the club, but they didn't actually. They didn't actually.
Did they really party? Did they really dance?
They just sat down in the corner
on their phone.
You just went to the bar,
Snapchat, so it looks like they were enjoying themselves, but deep down they were having a terrible time. Deep down they were like, "I need to get out of it," and Poch had to get out of it. Whereas,
you know what? One other thing I'd like to say is
they celebrated, pop some champagne, Moet, Chardonnay, Dom Perignon, all of that, and now they've taken a step back. They said, "You know what? Let me go out a bit later. Let me reassess my little family life, get certain things in order, get my car, my house, and then we can go out again later."
Let me just add one thing.
I hear you. It just goes both ways. It goes both ways.
No. Because the thing is,
so Devil, one of the things because we have to move on to the next one.
The thing is, right? Tottenham have had the better of us in the last 5 years or so. I'll give them that. They have won more games than they lost against us in that time. But we beat them. They hadn't beaten us for 23 years. 23 years.
That's what I'm saying. That's the past. But that's what I'm saying.
What I'm saying is, how can 25 years not equate to a couple of seasons? A couple of seasons.
I hear that. I'm not taking away your history. I'm not counting that out. I'm not counting that out.
Outside of that, Arsenal have still won trophies in that when Spurs were playing the better football.
I hear you. But I'm not counting. I'm not. Listen. I'm not discrediting the history. That's not what I'm doing here. I'm just.
It's recent history.
What I'm trying to say.
No. Because I think Javan was just saying that you have to. Yeah, I get where Javan is coming from in terms of
the FA Cup in 2017.
No.
What I'm trying to say is,
I get where Javan is coming from in terms of like how Tottenham were looking, how much they had improved, and how Arsenal seemed to be on the decline. But at the end of the day, what really shows that you've arrived is when you've won things.
Won something, yes.
And as Thiggy said, even when Arsenal are in this so-called decline, they were still winning the FA Cups and so forth. So if you don't win anything, I don't know. Okay, so guys, we have to move on because we've got a few things to go through. So Miguel Perez said,
capture that for me, Javon. That little clip there, your little rant.
so Miguel Perez said that HH Pulisic is what United fans think Rashford is.
What? Come on, go to bed. Who said that?
Miguel Perez, let them have their Rashford. Don't worry. When the stick starts painting the town blue.
I'm not a United fan, but you realize this is the best ever season Pulisic has had, and he's nowhere near Rashford's numbers.
Oh, come on, numbers.
I'm just saying, but they're playing in the same position.
Devil, are we still in math school? I was in C-set maths. Okay. I was in C-set maths.
We know. We can tell.
Let me ask you.
Easy. Okay, guys, let's move. So guys, remember,
let me ask you this. Let me ask you this.
I hope that's a veggie burger.
It is a veggie burger. Let me ask you this. Pulisic and Rashford play in the same position. What is the purpose of them being on the pitch? What is their job?
To score. If they're an incentive for this to score, Okay. Easy.
Thank you. Let's move on.
Swag. It's to perform and have swag. And Pulisic has more swag than I think. It's about swag. It's all about. So it's always been about swag. It's always been about swag.
All about swag. Adel Tarap is the best Premier League player of all time.
Nah, doesn't have as much swag as the sick. Look, let's move on. Devil, save me a plate. So let's make this very brief so we can have enough time for the Champions. So for this question, make it very brief. Liverpool, do they break the points record? Yes or no? Devil, do they break the points record? Yes or no?
As long as they don't play Burnley every week, yes.
Javon, do they break the points record? Yes or no?
No.
Okay. Nix?
2 wins and a draw with Chelsea. They'll match it. 100 points, 32 wins. No better than Man City, no better than Leicester.
Okay. And lastly, so with obviously the Champions League ban that has been overturned, it now means it's a top 4 to go. I don't want to say so. Let's keep this extremely brief. Chelsea got touched by Sheffield United. They got touched.
Dissected.
Keep it very brief. Keep it very, very brief. Very light.
Repeat and inject.
They got touched. And all I want is a simple answer because right now I'm sweating. I'm under intense pressure. Shout out to God will bless you. God will bless you, Bournemouth. Do Chelsea make top 4? Yes or no? Devil.
I think they will. Just because I don't think Leicester will be able to stay the course. I think it will be Chelsea and Man United.
No.
Man said no.
Wow, no confidence.
You got Norwich next.
After the way how we got touched, fisted by Sheffield. I have no confidence. I was banking that Cass will do the right thing and ban Man City, but they didn't. And I know Leicester capitulated yesterday, so I feel a little bit easier. But our defense are turds. They're turds. They're all crap, and they don't know how to defend. And I wouldn't be surprised if Norwich scored 2 against us tomorrow.
Goddamn.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Javan, I rebuke that in the Lord's name.
I rebuke it, but from what I've seen,
Javan, don't put that into the universe. Javan, I don't think you realize what is at stake right now. After those bombs gave City the thing, please don't put that into the universe. Knicks, do Chelsea make top 4? Yes or no?
I can't answer that yes or no. I have to really. We gave the North London derby a bit of time, and I think Sheffield United handing Chelsea their asses deserves a little bit of respect.
Nix, that was not the question I asked.
This is the football dugout, not the have hope dugout. I will speak.
Chelsea. I'm actually going to change this to the league's dugout, by the way. So there you go.
The fans are going to love me after this one. Chelsea fans have been giving it the most about all their youngsters. The Sitch's top 5. Reece James is better than Trent and AWB. Who else they got? Gilmore's the second coming of Jesus Christ himself. Kurt Zuma. If Maguire is worth 80 million, then Kurt Zuma must be double. He gets a clean sheet in one game. He's conceding 2 against Palace and 3 against Sheffield United. Don't reply. No, don't give me. Chelsea fans, Tammy Abraham. You look dead. Dared speak his name in the same breath as your legend, not mine. Your legend, Didier Drogba. I heard he was the second coming of Drogba. You dared compare him to Rashford. You're so desperate to be Manchester United that every player you get must be compared with us. Chelsea are so lucky that Leicester are losing it. Leicester, their asses have gone. How do you lose 4-1 to Bournemouth? Chelsea are so lucky. You put out a tweet thanking Bournemouth, 19th place Bournemouth. You're a disgrace. You are Javern, you too, on the big League Sports podcast. You might as well be wearing your Burnley, your Bournemouth shirt. You're a disgrace. You got rid of Solanke just so you can help you get top 4. Really? Is that what it's come to? You're gonna make it. You're gonna make it, but not because you're good. It's just because Leicester's so bad. And Brendan Rodgers is I thought Spurs were bottle job. Brendan Rodgers, if he don't get top 4, is the biggest bottle job in Premier League history. Right?
What's that crying for? What the hell?
Capture that, Devon. Capture that, please.
Capture that.
Yeah, that was good.
No, capture nothing, man. Capture nothing. So from your boy Joe Spencer, says, don't count out an all-French Champions League final, PSG versus Lyon. You see, Beston, I warned you and I'm going to warn you again. Please don't come onto these streams after smoking crack or sniffing glue. Because for a lot of the things that you say, I think you're on drugs by a lot of the questions that you say. If it's if Lyon gets to the Champions League final, I'm going to start watching cricket and golf. So there you go.
Join me.
Oh, no, yeah, well, I'll join you. One day cricket, oh, fuck. Andrew Laurie says, Leicester don't have Chilwell, Pereira, and Soyuncu. Oh, are they suspended? I think maybe, yeah, because I think I heard that because I saw a tweet that Ole is using Juju and that Soyuncu is not going to be available for the United game. So he's using. Look, man, there's some funny stuff happening there. So look, let's move on. Guys, remember, follow the Football Dugout on the Patreon. You can view the link is there, patreon.com/football dugout, patreon.com/football dugout. Remember, the link is in the description box below. Click in there, $5 a month, and for $5 a month, you'll be supporting us 4 boys, and you will get access to amazing, beautiful, extra content from all of us. So hit that link, look at the content that's out there, and support your boys for $5 a month and get extra content and support our lovely, beautiful givings and gifts to the football world. You wanted to say something?
Yeah, you say obviously people are saying if Man United lose, I have to be on the post match, blah blah blah. I'll be doing my own post match. I'll be in the comments regardless of the result against Southampton. The reality is, I gotta say it now, because if I don't say it now and we do lose, then I got no chance to say it. So I need to say it when the moment is, and I've learned that. I've kept my mouth quiet too long, and I had 3-0. No, sorry, you're like embarrassment.
All right, so quickly before we go to the CL, Miguel Perez says Tammy's goal to PK ratio is greater than Rashford's ratio. Thank you. So that's proving that Tammy is better than Rashford. So moving on very, very swiftly. So the Champions League. Now, I want to ask you guys this. Before I would win, I want to ask you guys this. And this was actually a very interesting conversation we were having on Sunday. So it's a new format. Obviously, the second legs obviously will do the whole away goal, but from the quarterfinal, it's going to be one match and so forth. And we got into a very interesting debate. I want to hear your guys' thoughts on this debate. What is tougher? What is harder? Playing over 2 legs or just the 1 leg? Especially with the kind of very grueling schedule of, I think, a game every 2 days because it has to be done in August. What is harder? The playing over 2 legs, home and away, 180 minutes, or just the 1 game over 90 minutes? Devil, what do you think was going to be? Is it harder?
It depends on the team. I think certain teams are set up better for a one-off game. Teams such as Barcelona, PSG, for example, I think they're better set up for a one-off game. I think the problem with those two sides that I've mentioned is a lot of the time you'll notice they'll go up in the first leg, and in the second leg, the pressure to hold on to what they have sees them crack. Whereas a team like usually you'd say like a Liverpool would be set up better for two legs because they know once they get someone back to Anfield, for example, if they're still in the tie at that point, that will make all the difference. So I think it depends on the side. That's why I put that tweet out saying this is the best chance PSG are ever going to have to win the Champions League, not just because of the draw, but because it's a one-off game every time. And in a one-off game, PSG have the talent to beat any team in the world. When there's two legs and it becomes a tactical battle and you know that you have to sit on your lead or you have to do this or you have to do that, they usually crack. Teams such as Real Madrid, for example, I think two legs would suit them better because I think they have more tools and able to work their way through a two-legged tie rather than just a one-off game. Over 90 minutes, there isn't as many changes you can make throughout 90 minutes as there is obviously 180 minutes. I think this format will help PSG and Barcelona.
Barcelona.
I mean,
there's no Camp Nou, which is what they're very heavily reliant on.
But they got Messi. So when you got Messi over 90 minutes, you never know what he's going to pull out of the bag. So I will always give them a chance over 90 minutes against anyone. But as I said, I think the main advantage is for PSG. I think if PSG don't win it this year, they should just give up and never come again. They should just be in Europa League from here on out. That's it.
So wait, before I go over to Nick's, so Miguel Perez, I think this was a comment he made previously. Miguel Perez said, numbers level, it's calling you level. What happened to the eye test? So Devo, have you given up on the eye test, or are you like many of these people that attack me and give me threats on my web?
When have I ever said I've not done the eye test? I've never ever said I don't do the eye test. My whole thing is some people use the eye test and see people do a few step overs and think they're the best player in the world. That's not true. You can have all the skill in the world, but if you don't know how to play football, if you've got a low football IQ and you make the wrong decisions after those 16 step overs, then you're not going to be a good footballer. So for me, the eye test only could take you so far. Football IQ, which can't always be, it's not always flashy. So, for example, a perfect example is Raheem Sterling. If people use Raheem Sterling for the eye test, they'd think he's just an average footballer who gets on the end of tap-ins and blah, blah, blah. But when you actually look at it and you look at his football IQ, do you know how clever you have to be in the right place every single time the ball goes in the box? It's not by chance. Mm-hmm. He does that because he's smart. He knows where Sane. Just he knows. He knows where the ball is going to be. Mane. He knows where the ball is going to be. He's learning from Pep Guardiola. You have to be a smart footballer to pick up what he's teaching you. You can't be dumb. Do you know what I mean? So the eye test will take you so far. There's other elements to football. The stats is part of that. But I'm never going to say I don't use the eye test. Yes, obviously you want to look and see what someone's about. You can see that a player is rubbish. Like, for example, Theo Walcott. If you use him for the eye test, you'd think he's rubbish. Man never learned a step over in his life. Played the wing the whole time. Never did a step over once in his life. For me, that means you're not a very good footballer in terms of your technical ability. But what made Walcott so good was that he was smart. He knew how to play the game of football in his head.
Okay, so before we move on, before I come to from Dean Classic. Now, let me just read this. Okay, first of all, here's an important question, which isn't an important question. Sarah J or Lisa Ann? First of Dean Classic, that is disrespectful to women. We must never pit women against each other. That way, no. I think that's this whole thing between women against each other is very sad. It's very wrong. And no. Let me land. I'll give it that. No, I think it's very wrong in what you're doing here because we shouldn't be comparing women. I think that demeans women. I think that is sexist, and I think that is wrong. If I am feeling angry or stressed, Sarah J. But most times, 90% of the time, I'm going with Lisa Ann. So, Nix,
Sarah J.
Which is the tougher thing to
Sarah J.
I don't know who Sarah J is. I'm not gonna lie.
Gianna Michaels.
Okay.
Okay. No, moving on. Look, so let's not get in trouble. Man.
What was the question again?
So Look, but this is what white women do to us upstanding black men. And so basically, which is harder, the one-off match or to over 2 legs?
You know what? I actually think it differs from one team to the next, because I think the underdog is better off playing a one-legged tie. Like, that's why you get upsets in the FA Cup so much when you compare to other cup competitions where there may be 2 legs or anything like that. When you get a 2-legged tie, the stronger team usually comes through in the end, because whatever mistakes they make in the first leg, especially if they're away from home, that's why when you finish top of your group, you go away first and you go home second. So any mistakes you make away, you can come back at home and rectify them. So the likes of, Lyon, Juve, you would think, all things being equal, Juve should get through that. But in a one-off game, it's what happens in that 90 minutes. And I think the underdog has as much chance in a one-off 90-minute game, because the other team might be off his. So I think it's harder to win a competition when it's a one-off, because all you need is a bad 90 minutes and you're out. Do I have more respect to someone that wins it like this? Maybe. I guess the disappointing thing is that the rules changed halfway. So if you had a whole knockout round like this, I think it would even be more. Give it more integrity. But the fact that it's changing, midway in terms of knockout round. And in addition, like in the Europa League, for example, I know we don't have to go into that, but in the Europa League, in the last 16, some teams have played their first leg already, so they're going to play a second leg. Those teams who haven't played the first leg are just going to get a one-off game in the last 16. So everyone's not exactly by the same rules. But I think it's harder to win a one-off a competition with one-off tie.
Juven?
Yeah, pretty much what Neeks and Devil said. It's going to favour one leg is going to favour some teams that need the home support. It's not going to favour, for instance, Liverpool, Barcelona. The one-off leg probably wouldn't favour them, but it can go either way. I'm excited to see how this format is going to go. It's interesting to see what's going to happen. Obviously, we're in new times because of Corona, so it is what it is. So I think the one, to go back to the question, the one is the hardest, because you just don't know what's going to happen. Like Nick said, you can't rectify your mistakes. If you make a mistake, that's it, you're out. Well, could be. So I think that it will be much, much harder for the one. But I know why they have to do it, because they just want to get it done and they want to move on to the next season, clearly. So
so obviously we have to just quickly run up, because we've got 5 minutes till the game starts. So
isn't it 8:15?
No, 8 o'clock today.
I thought it was 8:15, but I just checked. It's actually 8 p.m. So
okay.
If you guys, since I think you guys pretty much know what the draw looks like the matches and so forth. So knowing what it looks like, simple question: what do you think the final will be? What is the final that we're gonna get? So I'll give you time to think. So again, just clear your mind. In case you don't know, I'll just quickly remind you. So remember, Man City, Real Madrid face in the winner of that in the quarterfinal faces the winner of Juventus, Lyon. Bayern Munich, Napoli. That winner faces Bayern Munich, Chelsea faces the winner of Napoli against Barcelona in that quarterfinal. And the winner of that obviously faces the thing of the semi. Other round is Leipzig against Atletico Madrid. And then in the other one is PSG against Atalanta. That winner faces the semi. So, Devil, what do you think this final we're going to get?
PSG Bayern. I think
that's what I want. I need that.
I would love to see that final, to be honest. I would love the amount of pressure on both teams will be
and
immense.
We're not going to get it because it's the final that we want. We're not going to get it. I know it.
I just think it would be brilliant to watch because Bayern need that trophy to solidify themselves as being more than just Bundesliga champions. They've built up this reputation of being just a massive threat. Players like Lewandowski, it could be his last chance. And then on the other hand, you have PSG, who spent so much money to become champions of Europe. That's what they want. Being champions of France means nothing. It's about being champions of Europe. Those two teams going head-to-head in the final will mean so much to both teams. And to see PSG lose would be quite funny.
Nix?
I think, yeah. Well, me personally, I want Juve versus PSG because I don't care whether Ronaldo or Neymar wins it. I'll be happy for either one of them. But I think we'll get a semi-final of Man City versus Bayern and a PSG Atletico semis. And I think I think I have to back the same. I think I have to back PSG versus Bayern. But what I would say, Atletico, that if I'm correct, they've never been knocked out by a team that didn't contain Cristiano.
Yeah.
So
that's crazy.
If Simeone pulls his magic, he could be meeting Juve in the final.
That would suck, man. That would suck.
How time Atletico won it? They've been into numerous finals and semi-finals, and probably now when they haven't got the best team or the least favored to do it, based on their league form at least, they've beaten Liverpool. There's no saying they can't get to the final at all.
Javan?
Real Madrid.
What?
Yep, I feel Real Madrid will be in the final. I've said this. Real Madrid. I don't know who to put them against. There's so many other teams, but Real Madrid. For me, I'm just gonna say that they're gonna be in the final.
I'm
probably wrong.
On who they face in the final? It's basically it's either Atletico, Bayern, Leipzig, or Atalanta.
No.
No, PSG, no.
Atletico, PSG, Atalanta.
No, yes. So Atletico, PSG, Leipzig, or Atalanta.
I would say, if that's what it has to go by, I'll say PSG, Real Madrid, because I think Real Madrid is going to be in this final.
Okay, so let me just hit the super chats before I get out of here. Blacked or Brazers, neither. Porn, too much porn is bad for you. Porn addiction makes your dick shrink.
That's a lie. That's a damn lie.
No, I know it's but look, I've got to teach these kids. I'm going to put these kids off of porn, man. From Magradetsu, who says, whoever wins the UCL this season has an asterisk. Fact.
Oh boy.
No home away, no crowd, no away goals, natural, horrendous.
Who does he support?
Do you support Liverpool?
Do you support Liverpool?
Because what I'm saying is we got 5 subs in the Premier League, water breaks, all sorts. So there's already a big asterisk over this. Sorry, I just want to quickly say, in terms of your water break thing that you said earlier, it definitely affects. It definitely does. We played Spurs the first game back, and we were on top of the game. As soon as we went to water break, Spurs came into it, took the lead. Like the water break is.
I don't agree with that.
Games momentum shift after water breaks. I've seen it a number of times now.
But both teams have the water break. So
yeah, but the team that's on the
on top,
they can regroup.
They can regroup. They can regroup.
Yeah.
It's very.
I think it's time, and they can get new instructions.
Yeah,
Maybe it's time to.
But you're not supposed to give team talks in the water break.
You're not, but they do.
Okay, wait. Let me just
see
get
it,
this last question before we get out of here. Just Best says that. Did you see Neymar's goal? Best Brazilian footballer. Just Best. It was against a bunch of sideshows called Le Havre. That does not matter, guys. Thank you for joining us for this football talk. Remember, please, join up. Become a Patreon member. The link is below in the description box. Patreon.com/football dugouts. Patreon.com/football dugouts. Pledge each month and gain access to extra content and help support our boys. And we'll see you guys again here on Thursday.
He's a Liverpool fan.
Peace out. Stay true. Southampton, do the Lord's work. Peace.
Peace.
United.